it was really bad how it looks. And he said, you can't train your eyeball to be stronger. It is what it is. You've protection here and here, but he obviously got no protection because the fingers were straight in. The fight should have been stopped. He couldn't see. It was a foul. He couldn't see. Then you can't fight. You know, if he'd have got knocked out with a head kick next, then it would have been worse. I don't know. And then he said, sometimes when your eyes here like that, it can become displaced and stay there. And they did a few tests on that, and they said it doesn't seem like that. And his vision on the eye that's the best eye.
The MMA world is beginning to turn against the UFC, and this time, it's because Tom Aspinall has finally had enough. After everything that's unfolded since his devastating eye injury at UFC 321, Tom is reportedly furious with how the organization has treated him. From the controversial way the fight ended, to the silence that followed and even the public backlash he's had to face. It's becoming clearer than ever. The once strong relationship between Tom Aspinall and the UFC is starting to fall apart.
The best part about fouling, right, is that it works. So the best thing you can do is like keep your head in the game, and I'll do everything I can to manage shit.
All that training for that? Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Gonna be okay, mate.
What the is he doing?
The left one was really deep.
Both back.
The left one was really
Both
deep.
back. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry,
you got
but
one twice
Mate, go
before
toss.
it.
Yeah,
Go toss,
Twice
bro.
before he got one for it. Yeah.
Mike Bisping, he lost his eye. It's just a horrendous thing to think as a parent, really. And I know what it's like these days with people saying what they want, but if it's just your son and they could lose an eye and their health, and they've got children to look after, you know, something needs doing about it. Yeah, it's horrendous for me to look at that.
Because it went a few minutes. It doesn't mean in any way, shape or form here that Tom Aspinall was struggling. He fucking wasn't. Cyril Gane's a good technical fighter. He was making it more difficult to catch him. But it wasn't like he was dishing out loads of punishment just because Tom had a bloody nose from a punch. Fucking Floyd Mayweather had a black eye from fucking Deji. A little bit of damage when you're in there throwing big fucking fists at each other is going to happen sometime. It does not reflect the way the fight is actually going. Little bit of blood. When, as long as you can breathe out that nose, you are fine. And it's this context that in the MMA and fight world, people just fucking ignore for some reason.
I saw Tom Aspinall land some nasty stuff too. I saw Tom Aspinall throw a high kick. I've never seen him throw a high kick, and it's partly because he's never had to throw a high kick. There are layers to these guys' games that we have to find only when they're fighting someone that not only deserves to be in there with them, but can extend them to a point where they have to use all of their weapons.
I mean, look, DC knows MMA. I'm not going to say he's talking total shit there, but I think if Tom Aspinall is being experimental in there and showing us things that he's not showing us before, I don't think for 1 second it's because I'm going to struggle here. I need to throw a high kick. I've never done that before. I don't think that's in his mind at all. He's so comfortable in there. He is showing more of his skill set that he has said he's been working on in the last year.
Ever since that no contest against Cyril Gane, fans have been desperate for an update from the UFC. But instead of answers, all they got was silence. No official medical report, no reassurance, not even a simple acknowledgement of just how serious Tom Aspinall's injury really was. Left with no choice, Tom took to social media himself, posting photos of his swollen, damaged eye and explaining how he's been in and out of treatment since that devastating night. Behind closed doors, sources close to Tom's camp reveal growing frustration. They say Tom and his team feel completely abandoned, left in the dark by the very organization he stood by and represented since day one.
And laid there on his back until John submitted him. Against the cage, Gane was sat there, not moving, not bucking, not shifting or fighting hands, sitting there like this until John locked up the guillotine on him. I'm very aware of what happened in that fight. And do I wish Tom would have finished him earlier? I do, without resistance. That was the ideal circumstance for Tom Aspinall, was to finish Cyril Gane with no resistance in the first round. I think we see an overconfident Gane in the rematch, and I think Tom smokes him. But Tom was raging. So there's an emotional aspect to this rematch now that I'm worried about, because I've been looking for Bully Tom to make an appearance for a very long time, you guys. For a very long time, I've been waiting for Bully Tom to make an appearance. And he made the appearance on, what the fuck you guys booing me for? He genuinely made an appearance in the post-fight speech. The fuck are you guys booing me for? I got fucking double eye poked. A double eye poke landed. Insane. Crazy. Horrible result for the main event. Worst case scenario. All things come together. It's weird how MMA works, is it not? Dirtiest fighter on the heavyweight roster, Ciryl Gane, constantly cheats every single fight. He's a dirty little French cunt. John Jones is the nemesis of Tom Aspinall.
E aí, Porta?
Guys, I just got fucking poked knuckle deep in the eyeball. What the why are you booing? What am I supposed to do about it? I didn't do the fucking poke. I can't see.
Tom, they should not be booing. I agree with you. You waited a long time for this moment. Talk to the disappointment of this being how it ends.
This is bullshit. The fight was just getting going.
Were you just calling him out as you felt like you wanted to get that shot, or were you calling him out because you were able to continue from the eye poke?
Yeah, it's like that. It's for the Hank to be a champion, and the Hank quick because the pocket the eye too, and the third too because the Hank is the training partner, and I do it when Hank like knock him out in the first round. Why is it happening that me and Tom Aspinall fight? Because he say Tom Aspinall, this is the one that does the best training partner. Hank can have it.
Tom Aspinall has always been a fighter in every sense, pushing through injuries, setbacks, and long layoffs just to keep chasing greatness. He waited over a year for his big return, and when it finally came, it ended in tragedy and controversy. But what's made things worse is how the UFC handled it. No public support, no apology, and no sense of accountability. Then came Dana White's comments at the post-fight press conference, words that only made the wound deeper. Dana claimed that Tom chose not to continue, a statement that instantly set off a wave of anger across the MMA community. Fans and fighters alike couldn't believe it. They'd seen the replays. They'd seen the damage, and they knew Tom had no choice but to stop.
I mean, you pretty much covered the whole Dana White saying he didn't want to continue.
Tom didn't want to continue in the fight, so the rematch is very interesting.
It's crazy. It just adds more fuel to the fire of this fucking stupid conspiracy that Chael started, and now you have UFC brass co-signing that. It's so dumb, dude. He's your current heavyweight champ. Now the face of the UFC and one of the biggest voices in the UFC has somehow put the narrative that he's weak and that he quit. You're hurting your brand. The face of the division, the narrative now is that he's a quitter and he didn't want to fight. That's your champ. No matter DQ, no contest, that's your fucking heavyweight champ of the world. He's supposed to be the baddest man on the planet. Now the narrative, for people that don't know shit about MMA, is that he has quit in him. Why would you do that? You represent your fucking business. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. And now some of the casuals are like, I'm not watching him ever fight again. He quits. That hurts your bottom line. And for what? Why not give the number one heavyweight in the world the benefit of the doubt that he couldn't fucking seek? They got poked in both fucking eyes and you just go, terrible fucking circumstances. We're going to rematch it as soon as Tom's ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it. You don't push this shitty narrative down the road and sabotage your heavyweight champ.
There's a lot of talk about, did Tom quit? Did Tom end it too early? Could he have cleared that eye? Was he unable to really see? Could he have gotten through it? This is all true. And we will only know if Tom comes out and tells us. We'll never know how bad or how severe. We'll never know that. That's only ever going to be known by Tom Aspinall. But what we can talk about is that how egregious that eye poke was. And Ciryl Gane did that. He ruined the fight by having that terrible eye poke, right? You just have to keep a closed fist. And we've seen it in so many other events. It's really starting to ruin mixed martial arts.
Do you really feel that Aspinall decided not to keep fighting on purpose because he thought that this fight wasn't going to go his way?
Over there. I know. I'm going to. I'm going to get, first and foremost, it was a foul, and Ciryl Gane's the one to blame for it. But from the optics and the way that it looked, his eye was closed when he got poked in it. He was saying he couldn't see, and he wasn't even trying to open his eye to see if he could see. UFC. Like, obviously, I have no idea. I'm not there, but you see the pictures afterwards. His eye looks fine. I've seen a whole finger go in someone's eye and they keep fighting, right? So I don't know, but I feel like he might have taken the easier way out. It's a no contest. You got to come back. He gets paid $3 million.
Wait, he still gets paid as if they fought the full fight?
They fought.
They still make their show money and stuff. Yeah.
Tom Aspinall didn't choose to stop. He had to. This wasn't about toughness or heart. It was about survival, about his vision, his safety, and the career he's built with years of sacrifice. Even Tom's father, Andy Aspinall, couldn't stay silent. He spoke out after the fight, expressing his deep disappointment in how the UFC handled the entire situation, from the lack of medical urgency to the cold tone of Dana White's comments, to the simple fact that no one from the organization checked on Tom while he was in the hospital for the Aspinall family. It was a betrayal. And for the fans, it was heartbreaking to watch. A fighter who gave everything to the sport, left alone when he needed support the most.
Wouldn't it be interesting if Tom came out and said, no, I'm not going to rematch him. He's a cheater. Why would I rematch a guy that already cheated, that violated not one of my eyes, but both? I gave him his chance. He chose to cheat, and I'm going to move on. If Tom took that stance, which he's not going to do, I'm saying, but for fun, I think he'd have a lot of people that supported him. For some reason, Surreal has come out of this thing with his hands clean. He's the one that did the poking.
This notion of intentional versus unintentional is the stupidest shit in sports. Period. Period. You don't hear it anywhere else. Yesterday, I'm watching the New York Knicks against the Miami Heat. Knicks are down like 8 or so. They have the ball. Josh Hart gets called for an offensive foul. Illegal screen. Do the referees converge and say, like, did he mean to do that or did he not mean to do that? No. A foul is a foul. Ball goes the other way. Let me ask you a question. Super Bowl, a couple years ago, all-time great game. Eagles, Chiefs, pass interference, end of the game. Do the refs converge and say, did he mean to bump him or not? No, foul is a foul. Foul is a foul, which means a foul is a DQ. That should have been a GQ victory for Tom Aspinall. That should have been a DQ loss for Ciryl Gane. And let me be very, very clear right here and now. I don't think Ciryl did that on purpose. Why would he have done that on purpose? Why would he have tried to foul his opponent? But it doesn't matter. An illegal maneuver is an illegal maneuver. An illegal foul is an illegal foul, whether you meant to do it or not.
Oh, keeps eye poking, man. Once again, it's MMA. If somebody's coming at me and I go like this, it's my hands coming out. It's a natural reaction. It's a natural reaction. That's one thing people don't understand. Like, it looks like the other eye got more penetration than the one he's closing right now. What the fuck? That sucks ass. He was fighting a wonderful fight. Right there, we can see that, like, that's how you can get Tom Aspinall troubles, is by always turning the angle on him, never giving the opportunity to run you over. Obviously, the accident foul was an accident, right? But the way he had his hands on Tom Aspinall's face is the correct technique to do. If you go back and watch John Jones, he's a great eye poker, but if you go back and watch the greats who do body kick, if you go back and watch my fights, when I throw body kicks or I throw leg kicks, my hands are here, they're open. So once again, you're never going to fix eye pokes in mixed martial arts.
Now, the question everyone's asking is, what's next for the heavyweight division? Right now, it's chaos. Tom Aspinall may still hold the interim heavyweight title, but there's no fight date, no recovery update, and no clear direction from the UFC. Meanwhile, Jon Jones continues to tease a potential fight with Alex Pereira, leaving the entire division hanging in uncertainty. Dana White has already hinted that Pereira could make the move to heavyweight, a move that, if it happens, could completely overshadow Tom's return. And to many fans, that feels like another slap in the face to a fighter who's earned his place at the top. Inside Tom's camp, frustration is boiling over. They're demanding clarity, a rematch with Ciryl Gane once Tom is fully healed. And most importantly, for the UFC to start treating fighters like people, not just paychecks. Because that's what this all comes down to. Tom Aspinall has always represented the sport with humility, professionalism, and respect. He's been loyal. He's never complained, and he's always shown up when the UFC needed him most. But now, when things went wrong, it feels like the organization turned its back on him. The fans, however, haven't. The MMA world has rallied behind Tom, calling out the UFC's handling of his injury as disgraceful and demanding that Dana White issue a public apology, Whether that happens or not remains to be seen. But one thing is crystal clear. Tom Aspinall's trust in the UFC has been shaken, and the heavyweight division's future now stands on uncertain ground, tangled in politics, tension, and broken promises.